Hi, welcome to GF Mamas. I'm the GF Mama. My name is Margie, and this is my daughter.
Hi, I'm Mae Mae.
And welcome to our channel. We're excited to have you here, and let's get started. We have a story, and because I'm a good mama, I'm gonna let my daughter tell her part of the story first.
So basically it all started when I was about 6 or 7. So 6. I woke up at like 7 p.m., not the middle of the night, screaming, and we went to the ER.
Emergency room.
And they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. We were there for hours, and then what they thought it was appendicitis. And so they're like, we're just gonna take it out. And so as they're taking me to get surgery, they figure out that it's not actually appendicitis.
Stop! No, don't take my daughter. We want her to keep her body parts. Okay.
Yeah. So we ended up finding a doctor in Florida, Dr. Colbert, and he found out that when basically the mixture of gluten and sugar burns holes in my intestines, which would account for the screaming.
And that's exactly what I said. I'll never forget sitting in that doctor's office and going, wow, that would certainly explain the screaming.
Yep. So after that, we just started she started creating different stuff because I'm 7. I'm very, very picky.
6. She was 6.
Oh my gosh, what would have been 7 at that point?
She was almost 7 by the time we got better at it. But really, okay, so for me to interject, can I interject for okay. So all I remember was sitting in that doctor's office, and the doctor tells me wheat and sugar are now bad for her. And my mind is cataloging and running, and all I could think is like, what am I gonna feed my kid? Oh my gosh, what am I gonna feed my kid? How am I gonna, oh, it was just a lot. And then we got out of his office. I don't know if you remember, we went to Whole Foods. And all I could think of as we were walking down the aisles, I was like, can't have that, can't have that, can't have that, can't have that. And we were overwhelmed. And but on that day, we made a pinky promise, and we decided that once we got the hang of it, that someday we were going to provide the help that we wish would have been there for us when we got started.
Yeah, because we had no idea what we were doing. Back then, that was 14 years ago now, 15?
And the gluten-free products tasted like...
It was really bad. There was
cardboard.
These graham crackers that were horrible, but I just had to eat them.
Well, and then the bread, like we could throw the bread and nothing happened to it. Like it probably would have knocked one of our dogs out if we would have thrown it at our dogs. And, I mean, no offense to the people that created these lovely products, but I just was looking at my kids were then 6, 9, and 11, and I'm thinking, oh, I can't feed them this stuff. There's no way they'll ever eat it. I gotta do something. And I actually happen to be a scientist. So I was a biologist with a microbiology specialty, and so I decided that I was gonna put my education to work, which I hadn't felt like I'd done a whole lot with it up till that time. So I decided I was gonna put my education to use, and I was gonna train myself to be a food scientist, because my goal was I just refused to accept that you had to eat crummy food. And that I wanted everybody else to be jealous of your food. That's something my dad taught me.
Yeah.
Peer pressure works both ways, just a little FYI. And so that was my goal. I wanted our food to be better than what everybody else had, so that people would be jealous of you, not you be jealous of everybody else's food. It was a little daunting.
Because it did put me in a special situation, because if we got pizza or something, I would have to get a whole pizza. And my friends could take pieces of their own, but they couldn't really eat mine because I had to eat mine. So it created almost like a separation between us when I was younger.
Well, and then when you wanted to spend the night, do you remember your friends' moms?
Oh my goodness.
They were in a panic.
They would freak out. They were like, what are we gonna feed her? I don't know what we're feeding. Like, they were just like panicking.
Okay, and my answer was this. She'll figure it out. She knows what to eat.
So we would bring a little cooler, and we would have these mac and cheeses, which was like the only really good thing back then. And they were like frozen, and I would just bring my mac and cheese, and I'd be like, I can have eggs and fruit and stuff. It's not that bad. Like, I can eat food.
Yeah, and that at the beginning, we thought it was just gluten-free too, remember? So like the mac and cheese you were eating was made out of rice pasta, and And that actually worked for like a couple years, but then all of a sudden we started getting sick again.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what to do. So then we thought, maybe it's the grains, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because what would happen is if we ate corn, especially, corn was one that you had a trouble with, but also your brother, your oldest brother,
Yeah.
he actually thought he was having a stomach ulcer, so he went to see Dr. Colbert, and we found out for him that it was corn and sugar.
Yeah.
And that was, crazy.
And then after that, when I was, 17, 18? I ended up going back to Dr. Colbert because I was having a ton of problems. And then so I went on a diet that like cut out entirely all sugar, it was like anti-inflammatory, like completely. So I could only have Granny Smith apples. That was very depressing.
And we would cut them up, and we'd put
The
stevia
cinnamon.
and cinnamon on them, and they were good. But what happened was the most crazy thing happened, and by
I felt
then we had been
amazing.
making a lot of things at home. Now, to back up though, back when you were in school, just so you all know that I was somewhat successful when I tried to make your food taste good. So Mae would start out, and I packed her this lunch, but then it seemed like all of a sudden she wanted more food in her
Yeah.
lunch, and then she wanted more food in her lunch, and then she wanted more food in her lunch, and I'm like, babe, are you really that hungry? Do you remember that?
Yes, I wasn't. My friends were eating all my food at this point.
And so she
Because
says,
they felt better when they ate my food and they didn't want to eat their food. So,
So
they were
I-
eating my food.
I felt like a champ at that point in time. But then when she got older, especially in high school, when we were in Oregon, then we started making more crepes. And I started cooking with a lot of different flours, because by then we were a little bit suspicious of nuts, because she would
I was
really
having a lot
have a
of
hard time
problems.
breathing with nuts.
Not really a hard time breathing. That was more of my anxiety would kick in, but it was like I just felt horrible after.
Well, and then David, my oldest son, he all of a sudden was like, I hate nuts, which is funny because he wanted nuts every day when he was in kindergarten. And then my middle son, he went through this phase where he had started getting really bad acne, and
he's
so
really, really
I
bad.
challenged him to just go 3 weeks without
Yeah.
gluten, and it cleared up in less than a week. And so he
Very
largely
addictive.
eats gluten-free now, and then you take into that, there's a little more to the story too. My sister, her kids were having similar problems too, and she did the blood test and found out that one of my parents, her grandparents, carried the gene for celiac, and the other grandparent carries the gene for gluten sensitivity. So
Yeah,
for
so
us,
it's a
it was
double
like
whammy.
a double whammy. And now here's the no-brainer to go forward. Okay, so we started out in Oregon. My kids were all born in Oregon. And then John, my middle son, when he was 17 months old, we had moved from the coast. We lived on the Oregon coast. It's not called the beach there because it's cold.
So, no.
And
You don't want to go.
it's
In the
called
water.
the coast, not the beach. Okay, so anyway, we moved from Gold Beach into Eugene, and then about a month after we moved, the pollen popped, and Johnny all of a sudden, like, skin was sucking in on his ribs, and I was like, oh my gosh, his nose just got profusely
It was
runny.
really bad.
I ran to the doctor, and he had pneumonia. So we were in the hospital for 3 days. And then the next year, I was pregnant, very pregnant with Anna Mae. Same thing happened. And the first year we thought it was maybe like just a bacterial pneumonia.
Yeah.
But then the next year we were like, oh, allergies.
Allergies.
So then we found out that my kids are allergic to molds, trees, weeds, and grasses. So Oregon was just not a good place, especially Eugene,
There's
which
a
is
lot
the
of that.
grass seed capital of the world.
Yeah.
So we ended up
Kinda
moving
killed us.
to Vegas. But okay, now, honestly, the whole grass family, which is, the glutens, the grains, and sugarcane, believe it or not. Rice, sugarcane, and corn are all part of the grasses family.
Yeah.
And so honestly, if you can't breathe it,
You probably can't.
Probably
eat it.
can't eat it. Okay. so anyway, that was the beginning of our journey. And I mean, we've had hysterical times. Honestly, we've cooked some stuff that we were like,
Oh, there
Not
were
good.
some bad moments.
but we have cooked some absolutely incredible foods.
Yes.
Like we eat like champions now. Like seriously,
yeah.
if you came to our house, you would think you're in a gourmet, like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe not gourmet, but our foods are so
It's
good,
really
and it's very fun. And people started asking us for help because they would get these symptoms,
Yeah,
kind of like
especially
Anna
when
Mae.
we moved to Florida.
Yeah, we had a lot of people that were asking us, not even in Florida, just we were in Florida, but we had friends from all over that started asking us. They were having trouble digesting things. And so we started helping people, and then they wanted the recipes, which we cook with, things that you don't find in the normal
grocery store.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can find them in the grocery store, but you got to know where you're looking. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, and so, but what our stuff, the stuff that we created, that's part of gfmama's, the products, the thing that was most important to my kids was tasting. I mean, they're kids. They're 9, 11, and 6. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if the taste and the texture are not spot on, they ain't eating it. So we were
very picky,
and children. I had to really work at it, but it was good. I'm thankful now that I probably wasn't as thankful when they were little, but now I'm thankful. And so fast forward, we started our company. We've now started this YouTube channel because we also have an arm of our business that's food coaching to help people. With the same kind of help we wanted. It's to help people to go from, just a regular American diet to what we call 3G free, which is gluten, grain, and grass family free. Yeah. So, anyway, that's our story.
Thank you for listening.
Okay, so is it is like below?
Okay, it'll be below. Above? No, it'll be below. Everything will be below.
Oh, it's all below.
So like and subscribe.
So go down, like and subscribe. And if you want to, you can even visit our website. Can we put a link to our website?
Yes, we can put a link to it.
Oh, and you can go look at our website. And then you can see our products, our beautiful pictures of our products.
They're so good. And we'll get more into that in the next video.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a great day. God bless.